There are several other allegations in the NCLT petition of Tata Power's helicopter being used by Mehli Mistry, which he vigorously denies, saying the helicopters were not only used by him but also by Tata Power personnel for site visits and were always paid for by M. Palanji. Further, he says, he stopped using them for over 4 years after Cyrus Mistry took charge of the group. There are more serious allegations made in the petition of Tata Power of awarding long-term contracts to M. Palanji, often without tenders. Mehli's father Cyrus had built a relatively small fortune, starting off as a painting contractor, and later under Mehli and his brother Firoz, he diversified the 90-year-old business into areas such as dredging, barging and shipping. The company has worked as a contractor for Tata Power since 1956, said Mehli, even before he was born. According to him, the works that M. Palanji secured were carried out under the reigns of successive Tata Power chairmen, including Naval Tata, Homi Setna, Ratan Tata and Cyrus Mistry. E.T. reached out to K.C. Gerda, who retired as managing director of Tata Power in 1994, when his chairman was Homi Setna, the former chairman of BARC. Ratan Tata was on the board at that time. I don't remember all the details after 22 years, but what I do know was that Tata Power was not run like a family concern. We had a strict code of conduct. If some party is known to have certain expertise or certain facilities or privileges or whatever, then it is bypassed. But there is a scrutiny for that, a certain committee that oversees that, Gerda told E.T. over the phone. We had internal audit. Nobody in Tata Power can say that I want to give this contract to so and so it'll be done. It wasn't possible for one person to give an order to any particular person, particularly in Tata Power, as we were responsible not just to the shareholders but also the citizens of Bombay. So costs were under control, Gerda reasoned. Mehli, however, makes it a point to mention that during the period between 1996 to September 2006, Cyrus Mistry was on the board of Tata Power. Later, Cyrus again joined the board between December 2011 and he became the chairman of Tata Power from November 2012. Mehli argues that Cyrus should prove with documents that he was dissented against the contracts that M. Palanji has secured. An 8-year contract awarded in 1994 for dredging works at the cooling water pump house without M. Palanji having any experience in that matter is another contract brought out in the petition. Mehli defends this, stating that a trial contract was awarded for 1 year after they were found to be the lowest bidders. When it proved successful in September 1995, the board of Tata Power approved an 8-year dredging contract on the same terms. At that time, Homi Setna was the chairman of the company, he points out. The other charge made in the petition is that on expiry of 8-year contract, Tata Power renewed the contract for 5 years in 2002 without a formal bidding process. Firdaus Vandriwala, who joined Tata Power from Tata Steel in November 2001, when contacted over phone, said the system never allowed favouring anyone while giving contracts. There were multi-level approvals needed and all the major ones went to the board, he told E.T. Vandriwala says Tata Power was in a regulated sector, so there is no way you can do what you want because in a regulated business, your books are open at multiple levels, Vandriwala said. Vandriwala said Mehli was a very reliable contractor. There was no pressure or hint that we had to give contracts to him, he said, of the period when he was managing director, which ended in 2005. On the 2002 contract, Mehli states that the Tata Power Executive Committee, which looked into contract, had verified similar contracts in Haldia Port, which was Rs 250 per cubic meter. A company named Dharti Dredging had then quoted a rate of 245 per cubic meter at Trombay, while M. Palanji had quoted 186 cubic meter after offering a rebate of 7%. Another reason why the contract went in their favor was the prevailing security risk, and since M. Palanji was aware of the requirements, it was awarded the contract. At the time when the contract was put by the executive committee to the Tata Power board, Cyrus Mistry was a board member. A 2004 barging and dredging contract and a 2003 tender for construction of a jetty for coal transportation also came up for mention. Mehli says the 6 firms included Evokes, a company controlled by Cyrus and Mehli's M. Palanji. Cyrus's team claims that he had recused himself from the board meeting that discussed the meeting then. Mehli says he had subcontracted the work with Evokes and asked whether Cyrus disclosed this matter related party transaction on the board of Tata Power. Mehli's office Cyrus's claim to recuse himself does not arise as the Evokes bid was a non-confirming bid rejected at the evaluation stage itself. The contract was for 15 plus 10 years, keeping in mind the high capital cost incurred by M. Palanji for barging and dredging equipment. Furthermore, it had a clause which specified that M. Palanji will get paid only if they performed by delivering coal to Tata Power jetty, else the company was not liable to pay for the dredging and barging infrastructure or operating costs. This work was commended by Tata Power management, and it is only after Cyrus Mistry's appointment as chairman that it was unilaterally decided to terminate the dredging portion of this work. M. Palanji has filed arbitration proceedings against Tata Power. Another charge was Mehli's firm misrepresented costs to get a higher rate for the barging contract. Mehli vigorously defends himself, stating that the next competitive rate obtained by Tata Power from Skanska was 567 per metric ton, compared to 381 per metric ton by M. Palanji. Mehli says that all their work is subject to annual scrutiny by Tata Power auditors, and there has never been any adverse remark communicated to M. Palanji.